I've been using the Blackshark 3 Pro for a while now, and I also have the Blackshark 3 with me. And in our original review of the Blackshark 3, I told you to hold your purchases until the Blackshark 3 Pro comes out. Spoiler alert, I still would highly suggest you to hold off your purchase because this thing is not cheap. But what you get in terms of these two phones from the upgrade of the Blackshark 3 to the Blackshark 3 Pro is kind of immense because of the pop-up trigger, which we'll talk about in today's video. So first of all, the Blackshark 3 and the Blackshark 3 Pro, they do come in this same design language. They both look exactly the same. It's just that the Blackshark 3 Pro is bigger, and as you can see here, the one that we have here is in white color, and the back glass texture has also changed. So it does have this kind of micro lines. I'm not sure what you call it, but you can feel it with your fingertips, which I think it does feel a lot more premium compared to the Blackshark 3, which just has a clean slab of glass at the back. And you can see here the camera setup is also exactly the same. There are no extra cameras. You still get a depth sensor, 64 megapixel main camera, and also an ultra wide angle camera. That's it. All of the picture quality comes off the same, so do watch our Blackshark 3 review if you want to learn more about these two phones' cameras. And the bottom part here, you also get that pogo pin for the magnetic charger thing. It only supports 18 watts, so do keep that in mind if you want to play games while charging your phone. And obviously, because of that bigger phone size, the Blackshark 3 Pro comes at a 7.1 inch 1440p resolution display, whereas the Blackshark 3 only comes with a 1080p display, also smaller in size. They both run in 90Hz, which yeah, it's pretty common nowadays for gaming phones especially to have higher refresh rates. And in terms of specs, they are also very identical. They are both using the brand new Snapdragon 865. Well, it's not really brand new, but it's still the latest flagship chip in the market right now. And overall, the gaming experience is also identical. But like I mentioned earlier, the biggest difference here is the presence of the pop-up triggers on the Blackshark 3 Pro. So we'll just turn on Game Space, and then when we open up a compatible game, I already set up PUBG to use it, by the way. So when we open PUBG, you see the triggers just pop up by themselves. I don't know how to describe it. They feel great. They are clicky even though the travel distance is not really that long. It's kind of soft, and I think the best comparison that I can say here is that it does feel like a, how do you say this, a miniature version of the Xbox One's controller's trigger shoulder buttons. And I don't know, it just feels really good, especially if you have plumber fingers. I guess these kind of triggers, it won't bite into your fingers well because the whole surface of that pop-up trigger is rounded, so it's really comfortable to press even if you are slamming onto the button itself. Durability of these trigger buttons, I'm not too sure because I've only been gaming usually for about an hour in about a few days, so I can't really tell you how the buttons will last over the years. But one thing that Blackshark included is kind of interesting. So when the phone drops, when it detects falling motion, the triggers will shrink in by itself. So I think that's I guess a nice feature to have, especially if your phone is going to drop onto sand. Remember, because of that pop-up trigger, you are having some sort of entrance for sand to get into your phone. So that feature for the trigger button to shrink in is just like a pop-up camera. And there's also one more difference between these two phones. As I've complained on the original review of the Blackshark 3, these two front-facing stereo speakers is not equal. So what I said was that this part of the speaker here is louder than the top one, so you will get some imbalanced volume when you are playing games. The Blackshark 3 Pro, it still has that issue, but it's a lot more minuscule. I would say it's much more balanced than the Blackshark 3, but you can still hear that this part of the speaker is louder than this one by a tiny bit. Not that much, but it's still noticeable. Okay, so should you actually buy the Black Shark 3 Pro instead of the Black Shark 3? That's a rather difficult question to answer because the Black Shark 3 Pro is really expensive. It priced at 4,199 ringgit, which at that price point, you can get a lot more other gaming phones in the market right now. But of course, if you want that physical pop-up trigger buttons, this is the only phone that has it. And I really love those buttons, but I'm not sure if it is worth the price, especially since those triggers are only, for my case, it's only useful for 2 games, PUBG Mobile, COD Mobile. Other than that, no. So that's all we have to share with you about the Black Shark 3 Pro. If you have any questions or thoughts about these 2 phones, do leave them down in the comment section below. We'll be happy to hear them, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.